Legal News 7th May to 13th May 2017 by Deepak, Miglani. Leila Seth, first women High Court Chief Justice, passed away. Set up Care Center for Kids who face sexual abuse, Supreme Court. Decongest approach to IGI Airport, Delhi High Court. Supreme Court revived quashed fodder scam trial against Lalu. Justice C S Karnan sentenced Chief Justice of India to 5 years in jail. Mallya held guilty of contempt by Supreme Court. First time Supreme Court jailed a sitting High Court judge named C S Karnan. Triple talaq, unilateral, bad in the eyes of law, Allahabad High Court. International Court of Justice stayed Pakistan military court order to execute against Jadhav. Okhla plant residents of Sukhdev Vihar moved Supreme Court. Supreme Court refused to interfere with High Court relief to Delhi University photocopy shop, rejects petition. Supreme Court pushed for NEET-like All India test to pick judges. Consider insurance as proof of BS third bike sale, Delhi High Court. Justice C S Karnan moved Supreme Court for recall of illegal jail order. Competition Commission of India ordered to probe big telecom companies players for allegedly blocking Reliance Jio. Delhi High Court pulled up the police for lax probe in Najeeb missing. Income Tax Appellate Tribunal to prioritize pending tax cases of salaried and senior citizens. Now, news in detail. Leila Seth, first women High Court Chief Justice, passed away. Justice Leila Seth, who died at the age of 86, had many firsts in a career, from being first woman to top the London Bar exam in 1958 to becoming the first women judge in Delhi High Court and the first women Chief Justice of a state High Court. Set up Care Center for Kids who face sexual abuse, Supreme Court. Taking a serious view of increasing incidence of cases of sexual abuse of children, the Supreme Court has directed the setting up of a child care institutions to look after children, particularly those who are victims of sexual offences and also those who are in conflict with law. A bench of Justices Madan B. Lokur and Deepak Gupta directed that all such child care institutions be registered by December 31st. It also wanted governments to ensure a care plan for every child in each care institution by 2017 end. The bench also appealed to judges to play an active role in protecting the rights of children. It asked all high courts to set up a juvenile justice committee to ensure effective implementation of Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act. Decongest approach to IGI Airport, Delhi High Court. Massive traffic congestion on the Mehroli-Mahipalpur road, one of the routes to the IGI Airport, has caught the attention of the Delhi High Court, which has asked authorities to check out a plan to decongest the area so that passengers do not miss their flights. To smoothen the capital's most stressful stretch, DDA has proposed construction of a bypass at Mehroli-Mahipalpur road, where on an average the traffic volume is between 20,000 and 30,000 vehicles daily on both sides. Supreme Court revived quashed fodder scam trial against Lalu. The Supreme Court dealt a huge blow to RJD Chief Lalu Prasad by reviving the quashed trial in a Devghar Treasury withdrawal case against him and ruling that he will have to face separate trials in the 30-year-old fodder scam cases. Every withdrawal constituted a distinct offence requiring separate trial, the apex court bench said. Justice C S Karnan sentenced Chief Justice of India to 5 years in jail. Calcutta High Court's Justice C S Karnan sentenced Chief Justice of India J S Kehar and 7 Supreme Court judges to 5 years imprisonment, holding them guilty under Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 and the Amended Act of 2015. The order comes amid a tussle between the Supreme Court and Karnan over contempt proceedings against the latter, which are being carried out by 7 of the judges, Chief Justice of India Kehar and Justices Deepak Mishra, J. Chelmeshwar, Ranjan Gogoi, Madan B. Lokur, Pinaki Chandra Ghosh and Kurian Joseph. Mallya held guilty of contempt by Supreme Court. The Supreme Court held controversial legal baron Vijay Mallya guilty of contempt of court for not honestly disclosing all his assets, diverting 40 million to overseas accounts of his family members in violation of the court's order. A bench of Justices A.K. Goyal and U.U. Lalit directed Mallya, who left for UK, to dodge criminal proceedings against him for not refunding bank loans worth over Rs 9,000 crore, to personally appear before the court on July 10th when it would decide the quantum of punishment to be awarded to him. First time Supreme Court jailed a sitting High Court judge named C S Karnan. The Supreme Court created judicial history. The court jailed sitting High Court judge C S Karnan for 6 months, convicting him of contempt of court. The Supreme Court convicted Calcutta High Court's Justice Karnan of gross criminal contempt of the apex court, judiciary and judicial process while sentencing him. The court asked the West Bengal Police Chief to constitute a team to arrest Karnan immediately and lodge him in jail. Triple Talaq unilateral bad in the eyes of law. Allahabad High Court. Referring to the practice of triple talaq, the Allahabad High Court has observed that under the Muslim personal law, marriage is a contract which cannot be rescinded unilaterally. Justice Surya Prakash Kesarwani observed that personal law or the constitution does not entitle a husband to rescind the contract of marriage orally or by giving a notice or by ex parte decision. The judge said that such a practice is unsustainable and bad in the eyes of law. International Court of Justice stayed Pakistan military court order to execute against Jadhav. International Court of Justice has stayed the death sentence awarded to Kulbhushan Jadhav by a Pakistan military court. This was after India instituted proceedings against Pakistan at the court, accusing Islamabad of egregious violations of the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations in the detention and trial of Jadhav. It alleged Pakistan authorities are denying India its right of consular access to Jadhav despite its repeated requests. Okhla plant residents of Sukhdev Vihar moved Supreme Court. Residents of Sukhdev Vihar have moved the Supreme Court against the Okhla waste to energy plant, which was allegedly causing severe air pollution around their colony. The National Green Tribunal, which was hearing residents' appeal to shut down the plant, has allowed the plant while imposing an environment compensation charge of Rs 25 lakh for violating pollution norms. The Residents Welfare Association of Sukhdev Vihar, Jasola, Ishwarnagar have filed an appeal together in Supreme Court. Supreme Court refused to interfere with High Court relief to DU photocopy shop rejects petition. The Supreme Court refused to interfere with a Delhi High Court order declining the plea of foreign publisher to stop a Delhi University-based photocopy shop from circulating photocopied books. The apex court did not find merit in the petition moved by Indian Reprographic Rights Organization, a society formed under the 1957 Copyright Act for issue or grant of licenses in respect of any literary work in which copyright subsists for reproduction on behalf of right holders. A bench of comprising Justice Ranjan Gogoi and Naveen Sinha said that since the main lawsuit, which was pending before a division bench of the High Court, was withdrawn, it would not interfere with the order. Supreme Court pushed for NEET-like All India test to pick judges, pushing for major judicial reforms to bring uniformity in the selection process and curb practice of favoritism, nepotism in selection of judges in lower judiciary. The Supreme Court has decided in principle to introduce a common test for selection and sought suggestions from states and union territories on mode of implementation. Although creation of All India Judicial Services were proposed in 1960, which it could not be implemented due to stiff opposition from various state governments. Even the Law Commission in its various reports has favored creation of All India Judicial Services, but it was not considered to be practical by some state governments and high courts, and the proposal was shelved. Consider insurance as proof of BS third bike sale. Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court has told the city's transport department while verifying date of sale of BS third two-wheelers prior to registration, it should take into account the dates of online payment of insurance premium or issuance of insurance certificate. The direction comes as a relief for the dealers who had sold BS third two-wheelers before March 31st, the deadline set by the Supreme Court for sale and registration of such vehicles, but were not able to get them registered as the department was not accepting documents after the date set by the apex court. Justice C S Karnan moved Supreme Court for recall of illegal jail order. Calcutta High Court Justice C S Karnan moved the Supreme Court, said the May 9 order was illegal and sought its recall. Advocate Matthew Nedumpara mentioned Justice Karnan's petition before a bench headed by CJI J S Kehar after it completed the day's hearing on validity of triple talaq and said the Supreme Court registry was not accepting the contemnant's application as it had not been authorized by an advocate on record. A select band of lawyers who after passing an examination are authorized to file petitions in the Supreme Court. Aware that Justice Karnan was not yet arrested in compliance with the May 9 order, the Chief Justice of India asked Nedumpara how the judge signed the petition for filing in the Supreme Court when he was not available to the police. Competition Commission of India ordered to probe big telecom companies' players for allegedly blocking Reliance Jio. The Competition Commission of India has ordered a detailed probe against major telecom players for allegedly trying to block the entry of newcomer Reliance Jio. The Fair Trade Regulator's decision comes on a complaint filed against leading players Bharti Airtel, Vodafone and Idea Cellular and industry body Cellular Operators Association of India. Delhi High Court pulled up the police for lax probe in Najeeb missing. The Delhi High Court pulled up the police saying investigation into the disappearance of GNU student Najeeb Ahmed has not been done properly. A bench of Justices Vipin Sanghi and Deepak Sharma said The police appears to be looking for an escape route and is being beating around the bush rather than interrogating the suspects. Income Tax Appellate Tribunal to prioritize pending tax cases of salaried senior citizens. The Income Tax Appellate Tribunal may soon give priority to hearings where the certain cases pertain to salaried taxpayers, senior citizens or non-residents, provided these individuals do not have any income from business or profession. Appeals filed by or against individuals over 80 years will also be given a priority in all cases, irrespective of their nature of income. Few other categories of taxpayers are also eligible for an out-of-turn hearing. Thank you.